Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. You have me, the Rhino, and we're going to drink a beer. This beer is a homebrew, so a homebrew review. Here's the thing with this homebrew. I know nothing about it. I know that it's the other husband's boss that brewed it. So the other husband's boss, first time homebrewing, they apparently distribute Brewer's Best in Ontario. So it's a Brewer's Best kit. Which kit it is, I don't know. So stylistically, I don't know what it is. Alcohol percentage, I don't know what it is. The guy or girl's name, I don't know what it is. It was brought over for me to try, so we'll try it. Good carbonation, first off. First time homebrewer, good carbonation. A little bit of sludge on the bottom, so some... really good carbonation, really. Now, one thing a lot of people have problems with, their first batch, is the carbonation. This beer, not at all. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice, slightly hazy, brassy color, off-white head, big bubbles, a good snap, crackle, pop. Carbonation is perfect. Nice, beautiful, luxurious head. Beautiful beer. Again, a slight haze to it. Unfiltered beers are going to have a slight haze to it. Only thing I might say to that is leave it in your primary or rack it in a secondary. A lot of people like to rack into a secondary. For clarity, I like to just let it sit in the primary a little longer. So instead of 1 to 2 weeks, it might sit in my primary for 2 to 4 weeks. Racking it to a secondary, you're going to get in a big argument. I'm going to get in a big argument. I'm going to have people yelling at me about this, but the main reason not to do it is you're dirtying a second vessel for no reason. You're chancing again. You're making another chance for wild yeast or other contaminants to get into your beer, and you have a slight chance of oxidation because you are transferring it again, and then you're going to transfer it again into your bottling bucket. Only reason I just leave it in the primary. You don't have to. You can do it in a secondary if that's what you want, but leaving it at a primary will clear it up a little bit as well. Yeah, let's drink the beer. Well, wait, we got to smell it. I forgot. I'm even forgetting my own ways. Kind of has a, just kind of smells like a cream ale, so cream ale, an adjunct lager, that type of thing. Actually, scratch that. Has a little bit more of a European lager scent. It has a little bit more of that, slight touch of, slight skunked scent. It's got the it has the grassy, has those beautiful grassy notes that you get from most Pilsners, Kolsch's, that type of thing. Okay, let's try it. Cheers. That, boys and girls, is 2 off flavors at once. Okay. So we're getting... well, I'm getting boiled vegetables, and I'm getting a butteriness. Usually you wouldn't get them both together, but they're both there up at the forefront. Butteriness... wasn't boiled long enough. Boiled vegetables. It's It is drinkable. And for a first-time brew, it's not a bad brew. For you first-time homebrewers, whether or not you're going to do a partial grain kit, an all-grain thing, a extract, my suggestion would be, and a lot of people don't like this suggestion, it does get in arguments as well, my suggestion would be do a porter, a dark ale, an IPA, a bitter, a stout. Do something like that before you do just a standard lager, pilsner, a cream ale, that type of thing. Why, you might ask, am I saying do a harder style of beer first? Because it can hide your imperfections. This is a very light tasting beer. If this was a heavier beer, if this was a more flavorful beer, you wouldn't get that buttery taste. You wouldn't get that slight boiled vegetable taste. It would have been hidden. For a first time brew, is it a bad brew? Not at all. Actually, you know what? Probably the worst homebrew I've had so far, other than my very first homebrew and the Cantankerous Cook's very first cider, is probably the alt beer from the brothers Colgate and Sensodyne. It was really astringent in the fruit. It was very off. There was something horribly contaminating. Well, I shouldn't say horribly contaminating it, because it wasn't a bad beer, but it was contaminated with something. It wasn't the style. It wasn't what the kit would have given them. A wild strain of yeast or something had contaminated it. This is just two faults that most beginner brewers make. I did it too myself, my very first brew. I know a lot of brewers don't boil long enough the very first time they do it. They get that buttery flavoring from the sugars not being burnt down right. Not a bad beer, though. It's drinkable. Nice bitter background. It's just the forefront. It's just the forefront that isn't nice, and it leaves a weird flavoring on your tongue. Other than that, it's a nice beer. Again, would I dump the batch? No, I wouldn't dump the batch. But those are the two things I would... Well, that's the one thing I would suggest to any new home brewer. Whether you're getting help, whether you're doing it on your own. First off, add something to the kit. Don't just make the kit itself. Make the kit and throw in, I don't know, what your favorite hop, or just throw in a hop that somebody suggested. Dry hop. Dry hop right into the bucket. Second suggestion, don't do the simplest beer. I know it seems like it's a great thing to do. Let's just do the simple beer. You don't add anything. You don't really have to worry about anything. It's simple. Everybody can enjoy it, but it doesn't hide flaws. That's the only problem with the simplest beer. It doesn't hide flaws. So there you go, guys. My 2 cents. Other husband, tell your boss they did a good job. They have a few things to still work on. They did a good job. Bye.